Sai Ram. It is often said, silence is golden, speech is silver. And any person in his senses or her senses would prefer gold to silver any day, because gold is much more valuable and much more precious. And therefore, silence is much more precious than speech. Swami would say, it is only in the depths of silence that the voice of God can be heard. If we want to become dear to God, near to God, we need silence. Of course, the silence that Swami referred to was not about just keeping the mouth shut. Because when we look at the lives of great saints, great sages, the avatars themselves, they definitely spoke. It is not that silence that is being referred to, but the silence of the heart, silence in the mind, the absence of thoughts and absolute focus. But Swami would often recommend even physical silence or maunam. This is called mauna vrata. Mauna vrata is that sadhana that students would take up, where for an entire day they would keep silent without talking to anybody. Why would Swami encourage this? Because the silence of the mind, the ultimate silence, begins as silence of speech. Speech is a way where a lot of energy is dissipated and a lot of distractions too come in when we speak. And that is why Swami would recommend us to keep silence. Here is the experience of a senior brother of mine, Amitabh Das Gupta, that proves beyond any doubt that physical silence is a sure shot way to become near and dear to God. Brother Amitabh Das Gupta used to be called Dasta for short, and that is how I will refer to him as I narrate his story. Let us travel back to the December of 1993. Dasta was in 12th grade and this was his final year in the Sri Sathya Sai Higher Secondary School. After this, he would become a college student, a university student. And as it happens always, the senior most students of a campus, be it school or university, are given more opportunities to interact with Swami, because for many of them this might even turn out to be the last year in the physical presence of Swami. Not every student who graduates from 12th grade joins the university there. And so, as this was his last few months with Swami, he decided that he should do something special and make Swami happy. And one thing that Swami used to always tell him was to keep quiet, keep silent, maintain silence. This he found very difficult to do because he had this tendency to talk, make friends and speak with a lot of friends. And so he decided that as my special offering to Swami, I will keep maunam, silence. But then this silence would not just be for a few hours or a day. He promised Swami that he would keep maunam for a complete fortnight, 15 days, till the New Year's Day of 1994. But it did not come without caveats. You know, in our stotras and ashtakams and all the mantras that we read and chant and sing, there is something called the Falashruti. The Falashruti is sung or chanted or repeated at the end. This is a statement which, promises different boons and fruits and benefits to the one who is singing and chanting if they sing and chant for a duration, Linga ashtakam idam punyam yappate shiva sannidau shivalokam avapnoti shivena sahamodate. Those who chant the Lingashtakam will get this benefit, like that, because we need incentives to do something. So Dasta also made an incentive for himself. He only created this incentive and he said, Swami, you better fulfill this. What is this? He said, Swami, I have never had the opportunity to travel with you in your car. If I keep maunam, silence for 15 days, you should definitely give me a ride in your car. Okay? And this was what he told Swami. And then began the most difficult sadhana of his life. Spend the waking hours of the day without speaking. And he managed to do this flawlessly for 7 days, a complete week. And he noticed that when he did this sadhana, the joys in his life got multiplied. For instance, when he would have darshan, every day he would get joy. But the darshan joy that he would get because he was doing the sadhana suddenly seemed to have multiplied. And therefore, on the Christmas day, when Swami came in the balcony in that beautiful white robe and granted darshan, his joy knew no bounds. His heart erupted in tremendous joy. But in that joy, he went back to the hostel and began to talk to so many, radiating that joy. Till he suddenly realized that, oh God, I'm supposed to keep Mauna Vratam and I've broken it off. I had promised Swami 15 days and within a week I have broken it. He quickly made an addendum to his promise. He said, Swami, I know that I have broken it. Please forgive me for this. Again, I shall restart and continue for a next 1 week, so that overall I would have done a fortnight, 2 weeks. You should keep up your end of the promise as well, despite his violation. And that is how the last week of December as well, Dasta kept Maunam. Now, coincidentally in quotes, because there's nothing like a coincidence with Swami, everything is the master plan. One of Dasta's classmates, Pavan, his name was, had gotten very sick, viral fever. So sick that he had to be admitted in the Sri Sathya Sai General Hospital. He had spent more than a week in the hospital and he was feeling miserable. Not because of the fever, but because of the fact that he is not able to have Swami's darshan. In fact, he prayed intensely there that he should begin the new year 1994 with Swami's darshan. What was the use? What misfortune it was to be in Puttaparthi, to be near Swami and yet not see Swami when the new year was beginning. That is most unfortunate. Being near to Swami yet not being able to see Swami. That's really, really unfortunate. That's why Swami would say, don't be like frogs hopping around the lotus. Be like a bee that comes from far and takes the nectar, the amrit from the lotus. That is meant by true darshan of Swami. Not just seeing a physical form or being near. We have to be dear. Anyway, Pavan was feeling this and he was crying. On this side, Dasta had kept his Maunam. And on the 1st of January, the New Year's Day, Swami gives a beautiful gift to Dasta. This is the 15th day of his Maunam, of his silence vow. Swami comes and talks to him. See? In the depths of silence, the voice of God is heard. Literally heard. That is what happened to Dasta. Swami came and told him, hey, there is a boy in the hospital. He's very sick. He's feeling sad. Go and tell him that Swami is going to come and bless him. Wow. Dasta was made the messenger and he had to break his Maunam, his vow of silence, in order to convey the Lord's words. And he rushed to the hospital and he told his classmate Pavan about this. Sure enough, within a few minutes, Swami's Mercedes car stopped in front of the general hospital and Swami stepped out. He came to Pavan, who was overjoyed, thrilled at having Swami's darshan on the New Year's Day. Swami had heard his prayers and he was so thrilled and happy. And seeing him so thrilled and happy, Dasta also felt happy. As Swami was walking out of the hospital after blessing this boy, one of the doctors came to Swami and said that there was one girl who was very, very sick and it would be nice if Swami sees her. Swami said, I am actually coming to see her also. And Swami went and blessed this girl who was suffering and who was sick. Now, interestingly, that day morning, Swami had gone to the dream of this girl and told her that I am coming. I will grant you darshan and blessings. This girl had got up and told her parents that Swami said he will come and bless me. And they thought that she must be joking or she must be out of her mind. But well, that's why, every word that Swami says, whether in the dream or in a vision or physically or through a book when we are reading, every word is important. It's all meaningful. Multiple layers of meanings are there to Swami's words. Having blessed her, now Swami began to walk out of the hospital. He summoned the car and indicated to Sri V.K. Narasimhan, who was then the editor of Sanatana Sarathi, a wonderful and amazingly intelligent person who had been the editor of The Hindu before. And Swami told him to sit in the front seat of the car. Then turning to Dasta, Swami said, hey you, come and sit with me in the back seat. Dasta could just not believe his ears. In a daze, he walked and sat beside Swami. Swami shut the car door and directed the driver, and he said, "Let's go to the big hospital." The super specialty hospital which had been built just 2 years before. And it took almost 5 to 10 minutes for the drive from the general hospital to the super specialty hospital. During the drive, it was a wonderful conversation that Swami had with Dasta, and Swami had a conversation with VK Narasimhan sir, and Dasta was a happy witness to this beautiful conversation. He was unable to believe himself. He kept pinching himself to realize that I am riding with Swami in his car. His silence had taken him near and dear to God and literally made him able to hear the voice of God. The depth of silence, you hear the voice of God. When they reached the hospital, the gate had been shut, it had not been opened because it was not expected. A side gate is through which the patients enter. Swami said, "Gate is locked, let's go back to the ashram, let's go back to the mandir." Swami turned around and returned to the mandir. It became evident to Dasta that this whole drive was for his sake. Despite him not having kept his word of 15 days of complete silence, Swami had seen the efforts. God always sees the efforts, not the results, and had blessed him so profusely, so beautifully. He was so thrilled, and from that day on, he decided that silence, Mauna Vrata, will become a part of my life. Dear brothers and sisters, as I said, ultimate silence is the silencing of the mind. But a sure short step to get there is the silence of the mouth. Before we speak, let us think whether it is necessary, whether it is the truth, whether it is kind, and whether it will improve upon the silence. Having passed these 4 filters only, let us then allow the words to emanate from our mouth. Dear Swami, please bless us to have this physical silence so that we reach the ultimate silence and feel you within us every moment of our lives. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.